YRTV Syracuse, the local station. You're watching the morning news.
We are all about the free coffee.
Yeah,
here.
free coffee. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, welcome in. It is 5 o'clock. You have Ryan and Kate here with you. Rachel has the morning off. And we are waking up to some more brutal temperatures, but you're saying there is some relief in sight anyway.
A little bit. We're making little baby steps today.
Baby steps today.
Yes, our high is two digits in it.
Oh, that's nice.
It's only a 1, but, you know, and it's the first one, but we're getting there.
Do we have some negative temps out there right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And we just dipped to the negatives in Syracuse. We're now at 1 below. It's a little better than yesterday's 9 below, though. So it's like 10 degrees warmer. Think of it that way, right? Little things. We got to think of the positive. Once we're at this point in such a dead of winter, we have to just kind of pull what we can to kind of get through if this type of weather is not your cup of tea. We got 3 in Skaneateles, 11 below in Fulton right now, and 26 below in Watertown. Now, luckily, there's not that much of a wind, but the little bit of breeze you do have, of course, is making everyone feel so much colder this morning. And that's why we do have these cold weather advisories. They remain in effect until 10 a.m. this morning. We had some very, very light snow last night, but enough to create at least a fresh coating to a ½ inch of snow last night. For today, we'll have some sun. It's still very cold today, though, but at least those highs, they're getting better in the mid to upper teens today.
Thanks so much, Kate. If you haven't already, make sure you download the Storm Team app so you can always be weather ready anytime, anywhere. Scan that QR code right now on your screen. You can also find it in the App Store and Google Play. It's free to download. We start this morning with some breaking news on Syracuse's west side.
Now, Storm Team meteorologist Kate Thornton with Central New York's most accurate forecast.
Hey, good Monday morning, everybody. We have a live view right now looking from the Cavity Skynet 9 camera out over downtown Syracuse. Got a few clouds around, but otherwise things are pretty quiet, but they're also pretty cold out there. It is 1 below currently at the airport. A calm wind, so the wind chill's not too bad, but I mean, it's still 1 below. That's still very cold. And we have a lot of you that are so much colder, like Redfield, Camden, Woodgate, Central Square. Very, very, very cold temperatures. 1 below in Tully, 8 below in Morrisville. Now, again, there's not that much of a breeze, but you add in just a little bit of wind, and of course, it makes it feel so much worse outside, and that's why we have those cold weather advisories this morning. High temperatures, though, better. Over the weekend, we could not get out of the single digits. Today, we're back to double digits. There's a 1 in front of them, but at least we're going in the right direction. Many of us are coming close to 20 today, and we're actually on track to get above freezing for tomorrow. It's cold again tonight with lows around 10 degrees, give or take a few degrees, and then for tomorrow, we're forecasting mid-30s. Still right around that freezing mark on Wednesday. We drop it back to the 20s on Thursday and Friday, but at least it's a little warmer than it's been lately. On the radar, things are pretty quiet. There's probably still some lingering flurries going on. The air is so dry, so any little bit of a wind coming off of the lake, any snow, it is so shallow, meaning so close to the ground that a lot of the times the radar can't even pick it up because of how fine and shallow it is. So that's what's going on for you this morning and why it is so cold. We look back to our west. We have our next system right here. We got our fronts, and that's what's going to give us some snow and even a little bit of rain at times for tomorrow. So the time cast, we're waking up with some clouds, with some sun, and we'll be in and out of the sun and clouds throughout the day today. Our temperatures are slowly climbing, but we eventually end in the upper teens to right around 20 degrees. Mostly cloudy overnight, and then we have our warm front moving through. When the warm front comes through, initially it's going to start as some snow. So we'll wake up tomorrow morning with a little bit of snow around, maybe a bit slushy at times. Once that warm front lifts up, that's when our temperatures start to get into the low to mid-30s for a lot of us, even a little bit of rain mixing in from the thruway south, and then this starts to kind of pull out of here a little bit, and then we're left with some lake effect snow behind this, and we'll pick up additional snowfall throughout the day Wednesday. So when you wake up tomorrow morning, a slushy coating for a lot of us to maybe an inch or two up north, but then it's Tuesday night into Wednesday morning that we'll see most of our snow up in the Tug Hill area. And then we'll pick up additional snow with more lake effect forming. That's going to be hanging around for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. dry with that colder air. On Saturday for Valentine's Day, though, looking dry the morning in the teens, highs around the freezing mark, so not too bad, seasonable for this time of year. Mid-30s, and we're going with the chances of rain and snow showers developing on Sunday with highs in the mid-30s.
Thank you, Kate. Right now it is 5:14. Thank you so much.
Now, your forecast first. Certified as Central New York's most accurate.
In case you're curious how the month's been going so far, now that we have the first month of February in the books, every single day had a high temperature below normal. And of course, those overnight temperatures, we've been spending more time sub-zero than I think a lot of us would like. So the average temperature for the month so far is sitting at 12.8 degrees, which is running more than 11 degrees below normal. Now today, still very cold. We're only going for a high of 19 degrees, but then we start to rebound a little bit. We have temperatures in the mid-30s for tomorrow, seasonable for Wednesday, around 32 degrees. We dip it down a little bit, upper 20s, but then we start to climb back up again. So we have more ups than downs happening with our temperatures after today, at least with those daytime highs. Highs today, 21 in Waterloo. Baldwinsville high near 20 degrees, especially with enough sun. We're starting to get to the time of the year where the sun works in our favor. And so we're getting closer to at least being normal. Your planning forecast with tomorrow also comes with the threat of some snow mixing in with some rain. And then we're left with some lake effect snow for the end of the week. Saturday looks good for Valentine's Day. And if we're looking long term, so now this is going into about mid-February, that 8 to 14 day outlook, February 17th to the 23rd. So we're talking that winter break time. Temperatures, very good odds of being above normal, which at that point are in the mid-30s.
You know it's kind of a boring game when the kicker for Seattle, I think he etched history, kicking a Super Bowl record 5 field goals. So there you go, 29-13 the final. If you're a Jets fan, you're probably bummed, but also a little happy for Sam Darnold, who was drafted by the Jets. He goes on to win the Super Bowl with the Seattle Seahawks. I think it's after makes history after playing with 5 or more teams, the only player to do that. So. There you go.
What do we have to do to petition just to bypass everything and just do a Lions-Bills Super Bowl next year?
I think a lot of Central New Yorkers obviously signed up for that. Yeah.
Can we just do that? Just forget everything else. Just go straight to that.
I know. Bills fans did not like seeing the Patriots in the Super Bowl. They're probably waking up a little happier, though, today, seeing them lose. So we are all waking up cold this morning once again.
It's like for what, the last 3 weeks straight? Every weekend for the last 3 weekends have been so brutally cold.
Yeah.
It's just not been pleasant.
This is true.
That sun was sneaky yesterday.
It was sneaky.
Yeah, you look outside, you're like, what a beautiful winter day.
Yeah.
And then you step outside and the air wants to break your nose off. I'm like, my goodness, that is too cold. We just keep dropping and dropping and dropping. We are now at 5 below in Syracuse. We were at 1 below just 30 minutes ago. And we continue to get even colder everywhere else. Like Rome is now down to 16 below. Watertown is at 26 below this morning. There's not that much of a wind, so that's good. But this is still very, very cold, which is why we do have these cold weather alerts in effect until about 10 a.m. this morning, and we are going to be very cold. Still a few flurries kind of hanging on, not much though. The air over us is very dry. This afternoon, we start to climb out of the freezer a little bit. Highs up near 20, and then we are looking at mid-30s for highs tomorrow.
If you haven't already, make sure you download the Storm Team app so you can always be weather ready anytime, anywhere. Scan that QR code right now on your screen. You can also find it in the App Store. We start this morning with some breaking news.
Now, Storm Team meteorologist Kate Thornton with Central New York's most accurate forecast.
And a very good Monday morning, a very cold one. Our Cappy Skynet 9 camera out over downtown Syracuse showing pretty quiet skies out there. We've got a little bit of cloud cover around, but it is very cold. We are sitting at 5 below right now. A calm wind, so wind chills still a problem, but at least they're not as bad as they could be if that wind was really, really whipping, because look at our air temperatures. We have 0 in Fayetteville, 19 below in Central Square and Redfield. It is 1 below in Jordan. Again, there's not that much of a wind, so you probably didn't notice these numbers change a whole lot, which is good. But regardless, we still have very bitterly cold temperatures this morning. This afternoon, though, we start to get a little bit better. Highs are getting closer to 20 degrees. And then after today, we start to kind of level off a little bit to more normal temperatures. Still cold tonight with lows, the upper single digits to low teens. But tomorrow, we have a very good shot of reaching the mid-30s for a lot of us. And we'll continue to stay right around 32 for Wednesday, so still just at that freezing mark, and then we do turn a little bit cooler midweek, but at least it's not as bad as it could be, but we're still looking at some snow at that point too. On the radar, things are pretty quiet. Yesterday, we had some very, very light snow. It was a very fine but yet productive lake effect snow. It was so shallow to the ground where you could still see the stars, but yet it was snowing. That's what happens when the air is just so cold like this and it's blowing just at the right angle over the lake. High pressure is over us, which is why we are still so cold. But tomorrow we have this coming at us. Warm front is what's going to help bump those temperatures to the mid-30s. So let me show you that on our timecast. So we're going to see some sun again today, mixing in with some of those clouds. We're pretty dry. There's not really much happening as far as snowfall goes during the day today. Overnight, more clouds moving in. Temperatures, that's why we're staying above 0 degrees for pretty much everyone. Then the warm front comes through. So it lifts through the region in the morning hours, giving us some widespread snow. We got mid-20s. We'll pick up about a fresh coating out of this. And then afternoon time, temperatures start to go up. For a lot of us along and south of the thruway, we have mid-30s with possibly even some rain mixing in. Now you go farther north on the other side of the front, that's where you're going to find 20s and some steadier slushy snow happening up there. And so we'll pick up at least a little bit of snow from this Tuesday night into Wednesday morning before we make the transition to the lake effect snow. That's going to happen Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So snowfall through tomorrow. A lot of us less than an inch. Where you see the blues, that's 2 or more inches of snowfall. And then by Wednesday morning, the Tug Hill area will pick up an additional about 4, 5, 6 inches of snow. And so that's going to keep up through Wednesday. Wednesday, very cold, especially later in the day, returning colder, and also it's going to be quite windy outside. So that's going to create more lake effect snow. That's going to continue for Thursday, starting to weaken on Friday. Saturday, Valentine's Day, not looking too bad. We'll wake up in the teens in the morning with highs around 32 degrees, mid-30s with the chances of rain and snow mixing in for our new system we'll keep an eye on for Sunday.
This is Syracuse, the local station. You're watching the morning news.
I think we all can agree the only thing better than coffee is free coffee.
That's the best kind.
You'll be in your app later today, I'm sure.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we'll have all the details on how you can get your hands on that cup of coffee at Starbucks. Welcome in. It is about 6:01. Rachel has the morning off, so it's Ryan and Kate here with you this morning. And Kate's dress matches the weather map this morning, and that is not a good sign.
I didn't mean to.
Yeah, it's almost a perfect match, by the way.
You know, in certain spots.
Yeah, there we go.
The colder you are, the closer you match me. Oh, my goodness. We have 5 below in Syracuse now. We have 10 below in Fulton, 3 above in Skinny Atlas, 4 below in Cortland. Now, luckily, we don't really have too much of a wind, but the little bit of breeze we do have out there, of course, is making it feel so much colder. And that's why we still have these cold weather advisories in effect until 10 a.m. this morning. That's even caused a few schools to delay. So you want to check the bottom of your screen. A few lingering flurries still flying around in some spots. But the air, it's so cold, it's so dry. It's just not really doing a whole lot other than some flurries. But cold again this afternoon, but at least those highs have double digits instead of single like over the weekend. Our highs are getting close to 20 today, and then we have 30s in our forecast for tomorrow.
Thank you, Kate. Well, if you haven't already, make sure you download that Storm Team app so you can always be weather ready anytime, anywhere. Scan that QR code right now on your screen. You can also find it in the App Store and Google Play. We start this morning with breaking news on Syracuse.
Now, Storm Team meteorologist Kate Thornton with Central New York's most accurate forecast.
And a very good Monday morning to you. We're starting to see a little bit of that glow on the horizon with that sun coming up in about an hour. We have 5 below right now at the Syracuse airport. We've got a calm wind. Temperatures, though, it is very, very cold out. It is 11 below right now in Oswego, 1 below in Jordan, 2 below in Tully, 19 below in Redfield. You factor in the wind chill, a lot of you are feeling much, much colder, and that's why we do have these cold weather advisories until 10 a.m. this morning. High temperatures, though, we start to climb out of the freezer box. We were stuck in the single digits all weekend long, but for today, we're getting up to right around 20 for a lot of us, and we'll keep going up from there. Overnight, it's still cold tonight, but we're not as cold. No one's below 0. We'll have a few spots close to it, but the average is going to be about 10 degrees, give or take, when you wake up tomorrow morning. And then we're looking at highs for a lot of us in the mid-30s. A little bit colder farther north you go, but this will be the first time in 18 days that we'll have a temperature above freezing. And we'll keep it around the lower 30 mark for Wednesday, and then we turn a little bit cooler, though, for the end of the week. But upper 20s, I think a lot of us are like, we'll take that. If we're going to cool down, at least just stay as close to 30 as we can. Here's what it looks like on the radar. We are pretty quiet. There's still going to be some lingering, very light flurries, though, coming off the lake right here. They're so fine, and they're so shallow, so low to the ground. The radars just really struggle to pick up on this. They're just too far away, and so that's why a lot of the snow that we've had over the weekend, you probably pulled up the radar and really didn't see much on there. That's just the nature of the beast this time of the year when you have such cold air and the lake effect just so low to the ground. We do have a better shot of more widespread snow, even mixing in with some rain, though, from this system, and that's happening tomorrow. So let me show you that on the timecast. We have some sun breaking through the clouds again, so have your sunglasses, bundle up. Temperatures still in the single digits through lunchtime for a lot of you. In the mid-afternoon, we have upper teens to near 20 degrees, but we're pretty much dry for today. We don't have any new snow to worry about during the daytime today. By tomorrow morning, some of you will have at least a quick coating of snow to wake up to for your morning commute, and still picking up just a little bit of snow during the day. Starts to pick up just a bit in intensity farther north and east of Syracuse, where we are still in the 20s. That's the warm front, because look down in the Finger Lakes. We're now at and getting above freezing from Syracuse, Auburn, Ithaca, Penn Yan, Watkins Glen, and then we're colder farther north and east. You go from Messina to Loudville and Rome. You guys stay below freezing, so you'll be mostly snow throughout the day tomorrow. Meanwhile, the thruway south will be a little bit of a mix midday tomorrow, and so that's really going to cut down on snow totals here. A quick coating tomorrow morning. Most of our accumulating snow is staying from Jefferson, Lewis, northern Oneida, and parts of Oswego counties, and a little bit down in Madison County as well. Behind all that, the lake effect is going to start back up again. Now, because we're at this point of the year, there's about 30-ish% of ice coverage. Is mostly up north, but there's still plenty of wide open water to work with. So a lot of the lake effect stays shallow or closer to the lakeshore, but still enough where we'll have to keep an eye on things for the second half of the week.
Okay, we will. Let's get to the question of the day.
Now, your forecast first. Certified as Central New York's most accurate.
And we're going to get you out the door this morning. Our sunrise is within the hour. Our sunset tonight is just before 5:30 this evening. Very cold again this morning. This afternoon, we're getting up to right around 20 degrees for those highs. Keeping it pretty quiet. We'll even see some breaks of sunshine. High temperatures getting better for tomorrow. If you like it a little bit warmer, we got mid-30s for a lot of us in Central New York. And look at this. We're kind of leveling off to kind of normal for this time of year. High temperatures tomorrow ranging from the mid-30s from Syracuse and into the Finger Lakes. Low 30s from Pulaski to Watertown, Loudville with a high of 29, and Rome a high of 30. That comes with some snow, kind of mixing in with some rain. And well, if you're like, okay, when are we finally going to get a little bit of a warm-up? Well, the outlook for next week, this is during that February break for a lot of districts, there's a very, very good shot that most of our days are spent above normal with those temperatures, and temperatures at that point are just above freezing. So we could be looking at mid to upper 30s more times than not for next week.
Okay. Well, that sounds nice.
Not too bad.
Yeah. Let's see if you like today's question of the day. We're kicking a Super Bowl record 5 field goals during the game. 29-13 was the final. A big congrats to Sam Darnold, who was drafted by the Jets. He became the first quarterback in NFL history to win a Super Bowl after playing for 5 or more teams.
I say they scored more points after halftime.
Yes, I know a lot of
Finally.
people probably tuned out after halftime. Yeah, it was a slow game to start. You know,
Yeah.
It was
Every time I looked up, I was like, "That's it."
Yeah. That's why a lot of people, they're there for the Super Bowl squares and the commercials,
Yeah.
right? All right, welcome in. It is 6:30. I have Ryan and Kate here. Rachel has the morning off, and we are once again waking up very cold.
Very cold. Hopefully this is the last time. Well, this week it's the last time this week. Hopefully it's the last time this winter
Yeah,
we're waking
I
up
agree.
this cold. I mean, we know March can throw curveballs at
sure.
us. But at least in the short term, the next week or two, we're not looking quite as cold. And if you need a little bit of a heads up, I mean, look at this. We have some pretty mild temperatures coming our way for next week. But this morning, we are waking up very, very, very cold, feeling like 5 below for many of us. If we put those wind chills up, we got a mostly calm wind, which is good news, because if this wind was really whipping, our temperatures would be so much worse. But it's 8 below. That's what it feels like in Skinny Atlas. And that's why we do have our cold weather advisory still in effect until 10 o'clock today. Not much happening on the radar. Probably still some flurries still hanging on in parts of Oswego County. Your neighborhood roads could still be dealing with that hard snowpack. Main roads are doing okay for you this morning. But hey, we're getting up to near 20 degrees for those highs today.
If you haven't already, make sure you download the Storm Team app so you can always be weather ready anytime, anywhere. Scan that QR code right now on your screen. You can also find it in the App Store and Google Play. We start this morning with
Team meteorologist Kate Thornton with Central New York's most accurate forecast.
Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Miss Wamla's second grade class at Bear Road Elementary School in the Cicero, North Syracuse School District area. So thank you so much. I had so much fun with the second graders last week, and we talked about how it was going to be very cold this weekend, but then this week things will get a little bit better. So thank you for having me. All right, we're looking right now from the CATV Skynet 9 camera. We are very cold as we look out over downtown Syracuse. We got a mostly clear sky, a couple of clouds making way for that beautiful sunrise in the making. We are sitting at 4 below right now. It's a little bit better. We were even colder than that about 30 minutes ago. But everyone is waking up near or below zero again this morning. This is air temperatures. Then you factor in the little bit of a wind. There's not much, but there's a tiny breeze in some spots, which of course is knocking some of those temperatures down. That's why we have those cold weather advisories again this morning. But our high temperatures have 2 digits in them. For many of you, it starts with the 1, but at least we're making some headway here with our highs. We have temperatures getting up to near 20 degrees for a lot of us with some sunshine. We're not as cold tonight. It's still cold. Single digits to near 10 degrees, but at least pretty much everyone stays above 0 degrees, or at least pretty close to it, setting us up for a relatively mild day tomorrow. Mid-30s for highs. Still not seasonable, a little bit cooler, but not too bad on Wednesday, and then we have 20s in our forecast for Thursday and Friday. So even though we cool it down the end of the week, we don't drastically fall off. On the radar, things are pretty quiet. Last night, we had some productive, very light lake effect snow. If you were out and about driving, coming home from any Super Bowl parties, you may have noticed a lot of light pillars. It's because of how shallow and fine that lake effect snow is. It created kind of that light pillar effect with a lot of the lights. So that was pretty cool. At least that's what I noticed coming home last night. High pressure is overhead. Not a lot happening. We have some very cold, dry air over us now, but some warmer air is on the way tomorrow. So the timecast gives us a nice blend of sun and clouds. You know, we've been seeing a decent amount of sunshine lately, so have your sunglasses with you. We still have a deep snowpack outside, so that sun, it's very, very bright. It's reflecting off the snow, so certainly want to have that to protect your eyes and just to make it easier. So that sun angle is still pretty low this time of year. This time tomorrow morning, we'll be watching for some snow moving in. This is thanks to a warm front coming through. You know our rule, we never trust those. Our temperatures in the 20s in the morning. in the afternoon. Once this warm front lifts north, then our temperatures start to get above freezing for the first time in almost 3 weeks. From Syracuse and the Finger Lakes, if you're up in the North Country in parts of like Lewis County, northern Oneida County, you're probably going to stay below freezing in just snow. But throughway, Syracuse, Finger Lakes, we got mid-30s and even mixing with a little bit of snow. Not much of accumulation. Most of it is staying in the higher elevations north and east of Syracuse. That's for Tuesday night into Wednesday. Now, Wednesday and beyond, we're going to set up for some more lake effect snow that we're going to be watching. Very windy, turning colder. Friday, things settle down, a little quiet, low 30s, mid-30s with the chance of some rain and snow on Sunday.
Okay, let's get to our question.
You can see there, yeah, that's probably last year. It was still cold, still snowy. It wouldn't be surprised that's still the case this year as well. The way this winter has been going, very, very cold once again. We're waking up 6 below right now at the Syracuse airport. And that's without that much of a wind either. So when you factor in any little bit of breeze, well, it feels so much colder. Not much happening on the radar. There still might be some lingering flurries in some spots, but that sun coming up in about 15 minutes. So a nice bright sky out there. We'll have some sunshine to wake up to. Still cold, but at least it's better. Highs near 20 today. And then we got mid-30s in our forecast. We should be able to get above the freezing mark for the first time in almost 3 weeks for tomorrow. Fun times.
I have felt frozen. Yeah, that's going to be nice to warm up. I know it's baby steps, but we're getting there. Better days ahead. Thank you so much for joining us. Click on WSYR Plus for our 7 o'clock news.